What up, what up, what up, y'all? Listen, we got a lot to get into when it comes to Kanye West and Shannon Sharpe, child. Because this is a lot. This is a lot, child. This is a lot. Okay. Listen, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. And I feel like both of these stories is some research, it's some news reporting, it's some teaching, it's some news, it's some commentary, it's all of the things. Let's get into it, child. Woo! All right, child. So as I stated before, we got a lot to get into, especially when it comes to Kanye West and his cousin, child. And then, of course, Shannon Sharpe, child, he is being sued for $50 million. Okay, it is a lot going on in the news today. What a way to drop all this information on a Monday. On a Monday. On a Monday. On a Monday. It's on a Monday. Child, let's get into it. Child, let's get into the crash out of it all, child. Now, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Somebody go over there and get Kanye West, whatever you want to call him. He has gotten out nursed and he needs some assistance. And that is not making light of anybody's mental health or anything like that. But what is going on with Kanye West? My God, today. So Kanye West claims that he had relationships with his male cousin when they were just kids. Child, the trouble rapper 47 made the admission on X on Monday while releasing a snippet of a music video for a new song titled Cousins. This song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked up in jail for unaliving a pregnant lady a few years after I told him that we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore, he told his followers. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I feel it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was just 6. And then we acted out what we saw. According to West, he found the dirty magazines in the closet of his late mother, Donda West, who he recently claimed was a lesbian. My name is Yee, and I sucked my cousin's speen till I was 14. He concluded his message, adding tweet sent. West sings on the track, hanging with my cousin, reading dirty magazines. We seen some N-words kissing, and we ain't know what that ish meant. Then we started reenacting everything that we had seen. That's when I gave my cousin head. Oh, Jesus. The Grammy winner repeated the lines several times before confessing that he told his cousin not to tell anyone. He continues, people tell me to take it to my grave. Truth will set you free someday. I don't think that they understand that I'm not attracted to men. The accompanying visual featured home videos, pow violence, semi-pornographic images, a sign that read 4 F words. Y'all know the F word that they refer to gay men as, and a burning cross. Both Kanye and his ex-wife Kim Kardashian have spoken about the apparent cousin in question in the past. While endorsing President Trump Isha ahead of his first term Kanye told Jimmy Kimmel in August of 2018 that my cousin is locked up for unaliving and I love him. He did a bad thing, but I still love him. Kardashian, with whom Kanye shares 4 children with, referenced Yeezy's the found Yeezy founder's relative while meeting with Mark M. Howard, president of the Frederick Douglass Project for Justice organization in April of 2020. The prison reform activist 44 explained at the time that Kanye's aunt, my husband's aunt, his cousin, has a double life sentence for a unaliving that he committed when he was 17. Child, listen, what I want y'all to do is let me know how y'all feel about this. Now, I do believe that this is definitely a crash out moment, definitely a moment where, not to say that he has not had any crash out moments in the past, because we know that he has. But my God, today, this one is absolutely insane. Okay. Um, Kanye, you really got to get you some help. And it is beyond sitting on a couch. I think they need to lay you in a bed, with a white coat on, you know what I'm saying? Because this is getting to be too much. Okay, you showing out and you just doing absolutely too doggone much. And I mean, I think to be saying anything this wild, like, come on, man. Come on. This is crazy to me. You do have children who eventually will grow up and read this stuff. Some of them are already old enough to read this stuff. So it is insane that Kanye keeps getting online and doing things like this. Child, again, drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys feel about this. I think that this is absolutely bananas and insane, child. I really do. All right, child. So let's go ahead and get into the Shannon Sharpe of it all, child, because I think it is absolutely crazy. Hall of Fame tight end Shannon Sharpe has been accused of R-wording a woman under the pseudonym John Doe in a 13-page, 50 million civil lawsuit filed Sunday and obtained by the Post. By the way, I am reading from the New York Post, and I will absolutely put this in the description box of the video, so that you guys will have it. The complaint filed in Nevada State Court alleges that the ESPN personality committed actual A word, battery, actual battery, and engaged in intentional infliction of emotional distress during a rocky consensual relationship that lasted nearly 2 years with a woman more than 30 years younger than him. The plaintiff alleges that Sharpe abruptly actually A-worded her several times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025. The complaint accuses Sharpe of threatening to unalive her multiple times, being manipulating and controlling, and repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap her. One time specifically, he was yelling at her while there was a firearm visible in his room. The complaint states, terrified for her safety, plaintiff tried sharing her location with friends from an iPhone just in case. But Sharpe saw her doing this. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by the neck and then told her, "If you ever do that again, I'm going to effing unalive you." Child. Now this is a lot. The complaint claims that Sharpe recorded the two involved in actual activities together without her knowledge, and then shared those videos with his friends and associates without her knowledge or permission. Ooh. The plaintiff is not the woman that Sharpe accidentally shared audio of during his Instagram live stream incident while having X with someone in September of 2024, the complaint states. However, the plaintiff claims that she began to end the relationship after that incident. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm not now. Hold on, y'all. I'm not victim shaming or anything like that. But if that happened in September of 2024, and you were still coming around in the beginning of 2025, I have questions because he cheated when she thought that they were in an exclusive relationship, and Sharp relentlessly um, pursued her afterwards. A woman can say yes to consensual sexual relations with a man 39 times, but when she says no even once, that no means no. The first page of the complaint reads, Defendant Shannon Sharpe, a man who is accustomed to getting what he wants, completely fails to understand this basic concept. After many months of manipulating and controlling plaintiff, a woman more than 30 years younger than he, and repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap her, Sharp refused to accept the answer no and R-worded the plaintiff. Whew. Despite her sobbing and repeating screams of no, the plaintiff and Sharp first met at a Los Angeles gym in early 2023, and their first conversation took place at the gym when she was only 20 years old, according to the complaint, which states that Sharp offered to buy her fake tits if, oh, fake tatas. Okay, got it. If she won a fitness challenge that he proposed. The civil lawsuit states that the woman visited Sharp at the Beverly Glen mansion on multiple occasions, and that he would physically, emotionally, and psychologically control her. This cycle of control, fear, and submission became routine, the complaint states. Yelling at her, controlling her, forcibly grabbing her by the neck when he got upset, saying that he was going to unalive her, and asserting uh, that it becomes the norm. Now, Sharp was sued a day before. Front Office Sports reported that he is expected to sign a deal for his Club Shay Shay podcast that would exceed $100 million after his contract with Colin Kayworth's The Volume Podcast Network expired recently. Sharp, who appeared on ESPN's First Take on Monday, has yet to publicly address the lawsuit. The woman is represented by Tony Busby and Micah Nash. And Busby represented more than 20 women, sued Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson beginning in early 2021, alleging SA and misconduct. Watson served an 11-game suspension from the NFL in 2022 and was required to pay a fine and undergo treatment. Ooh, child. The three-time Pro Bowler settled 23 of the 24 lawsuits filed against him. Let me say this about this situation. I'm not saying that any of this can't happen at all. I do find the timing to be very suspect a little bit. I'm not gonna hold you. I do find the timing to be a little weird. And again, this is just my opinion. We don't have to fall out about it. I do believe the timing is weird. Again, I'm not saying that it did not happen. I mean, we don't know. I see them settling this lawsuit without it going any further. I really do. I also, with him having a deal coming on the table, I think is another red flag or another thing that's like, oh dang, why now? And then also too, I do have to question the fact that, like, what were you doing to still be back in Shannon Sharpe's presence after the fact? If you're saying that that you tried to break up with him, or that you broke up with him after the incident happened on Instagram Live, that would have been September of last year per this article. So what I'm trying to figure out is, did you eventually, I mean, I know it said that it was consensual relationship, but I mean, if you were trying to let him go from that point, then what were you doing to really get away? You know what I mean? Also the fact that She was trying to share her location and he figured out what she was trying to do and all of that stuff. Again, I'm just trying to figure out why you hadn't done this before now. So do you wait until the moment and it escalates and then you call for help, or then you feel a certain type of way? I'm just trying to figure out. And again, I get it. I get it. DV is serious, and I get it that sometimes, and they did mention manipulation in there as well. But at what point do we wake up and we like, dang, I'm not going over here, or when I go over here, I'm going over here with the police or something? I'm just trying to figure it out. That's all. Again, I'm not saying that it didn't happen, and I'm not taking up for Shannon Sharpe at all, because if he did these things, he is a dirty bastard, and I mean that. You know what I mean? So again, I'm not here to really just be like all gung ho on her, because again, I believe that it could be true, especially when you're saying manipulation and controlling. I can see those things happening. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Again, let me know what you guys think. I again, I don't put nothing past anybody, and I think Diddy has shown us that. Not only Diddy, but everybody listed in Diddy's stuff. We have seen that you never know. You honestly never know who's doing what, how they're doing what, and you really don't know where you're taking up for. You don't know these things until, I mean, you really don't know people. So I would just like to know what you guys think about this. Let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to catch you guys in the next video. All right, peace.